Bolu, you have queries to answer before we start recording.
What's up?
I'm not saying you're not a smart person because you're a smart person, but you need to answer. Did you watch ahead by the time you provided that theory last week?
No, no, no.
Okay.
I was
Okay.
on
Just,
YouTube.
just the timing was a bit suspicious.
I
I
was
was like,
on
it happened
YouTube.
a week before. I was like,
No, I was on
hmm.
YouTube. I was on YouTube. I'm not like YouTube and TikTok.
Oh, so this is like a theory that like the people were already
It's
thinking of.
everywhere there.
Okay.
Yeah,
Mm.
if you're on
I'm
the
happy. I mean, we'll talk about it obviously, but I'm happy it didn't happen in like episode 8 as like, oh, the big
Oh yeah,
surprise that like they went like so. Yeah. Anyway, let's talk about the episode. Everybody's ready? This is
well,
yeah.
assembled. This is the first
okay.
time all of you are
Actually,
together.
before we get into the episode, I want to talk about Inside Out 2 because I watched it and
Okay.
it was great. I cried as I
Was
told
it
you.
was it really good?
It's
It was
really good.
actually very
Really
very
good.
good. And they
Alright.
just dropped an episode about it on the pod yesterday, so you
Okay,
should
I'll
go
watch
and
it.
listen
Let
to
me
it.
Last
yeah.
week. We
But
put
have
the
you
pod out
Last
recorded
week?
last week.
I
Yes.
said yesterday in
have
my
you recorded
Spotify.
because
Because this episode is coming out. When this episode is coming last week.
Oh, sorry. Oh. Time
Jesus.
traveler. Sorry.
Oh,
I think I might want to watch
God.
Inside Out 2 with someone. But like I don't know
Yeah,
who.
surprise, surprise.
You guys are making me look somehow.
No, we're
No.
making you look like the lover boy that you
Like,
are.
yeah, you want to have that vulnerable moment with somebody, not by yourself. And I
Yeah.
understand it. I understand. I watched it in a cinema that was filled with children, and honestly, it wasn't as bad as I thought. They were making noise, but they all clapped at the end. And the teenager beside me was crying. So you know what? It was a very wholesome experience.
Yeah.
So I
I
recommend Inside Out
wept.
too.
I didn't
Okay.
cry, I wept. It was such a
That's a
good
lot.
Wow.
moment
That,
for me.
fair
You
enough.
really
I was
connected with the
literally
movie.
sobbing. Huh?
You really connected with the movie.
I was like, is this fucking play about me? Yeah,
All
it was a lot. But yeah, guys, go watch Inside Out 2 and also
right.
go listen to the episode on the
Okay,
podcast.
I'll do both. I will be there.
Yeah. Let's talk about something else that made me cry.
Your ex?
Jesus
I'm sorry.
Christ.
Okay, that was too
Whoa.
much.
Whoa.
Whoa.
I don't.
Slow
Okay.
down, player.
Can we all just keep this energy? Because
Time out. Okay, my
no,
bad.
no,
My
no.
bad.
Let's
I thought
continue.
this was a boy podcast.
Yes,
I thought this was
exactly.
a boy podcast.
Let's keep it. This is incredible podcasting energy, even if it's at
Okay.
the risk of my own PTSD. I do not mind. Let's talk about the
PTSD is
boys.
crazy, bro.
Yeah.
It's the truth. It's the
Where you
truth.
dating Storm from?
Damn.
Oh gosh, let's talk about this one. Let's
Wait,
talk
wait,
about
wait. No, you have to address that. Do you play in the snow or something? That's actually you must address allegations. So these are serious allegations. You
no,
didn't
he just
deny.
meant that.
I know. I'm just messing with you.
I plead the fifth. Okay, let's talk about.
That's crazy.
Crazy.
We're gonna start calling you MM, baby.
That's good. Okay, never mind.
Oh, let's talk about this stupid show. Okay.
You haven't even introduced the
I haven't
podcast.
done anything. I
You're
haven't done
really
an
tilted, though.
introduction. The theme music has not even kicked in. Like we just settled down.
Wow.
Oh, okay. I had a whole
Hello.
thing.
Welcome to the
I had-
Popcorn for Dinner podcast.
I had
I've
a
been
whole
throwing you
thing.
off so much.
I had a whole thing. You know what? Forget about it. Hello and welcome back to the Popcorn for Dinner podcast. And welcome to the very, very wholesome Tech Cave. Today we are assembling. I've assembled the entire crew because we're toppling democracy. And guys, trust me, you don't want to get them angry because they only accept chocolate cake, for God's sake. It's Oseghale, Chiagoziem, and Bolu. How are you guys doing? Welcome back.
Hi, hotties.
What's good, gang?
I like that you
What's
keep
up?
assuming that those are the people that listen to this podcast, but you
You're
know
gonna
what?
piss off your listeners. Just saying that they're not hotties. You do
Hey,
realize
listen.
like what's going on, right?
I've seen the
Chill, bro.
demographic.
The
I've seen
bodies.
I've seen the stats. I've seen the numbers.
Don't worry about the numbers, bro. Numbers lie sometimes. I'm
Yep.
telling you, the bodies is out here. That's why
Yeah,
I had
listen,
to wear.
that's
I
fair
had to wear
enough,
the
man.
fitted today, so the bodies don't see that my hair is a mess right now.
You don't have to explain it. You don't have to explain yourself. How's everyone doing?
Good.
We're already in the mood, so I don't even want to like distract us. But unfortunately, guys, there's a bit of admin I need to go through, but I'll do it quickly. House of the Dragon is still going on. So please check that out. We're covering that obviously weekly. Fami and Ibebe, who know the entire saga like back of their hands, are covering that. Part one of our coverage of the bear is out now. Now, not not next week. Chiagoziem, it's out now.
I
Uh,
understood.
Part two will be out later this weekend. Please, wherever you're listening, Spotify, Apple Podcast, please rate and review. That really, really helps us. Like apart from
It really
just
does.
the algorithm, like people ask us how many reviews do you have on
Do you want
Spotify,
our
how many
children
reviews on
to
Apple
eat?
Podcast?
Like,
Do you
rate
actually
and
want to
review,
actually? Yes, please, please. And if you're watching on YouTube, subscribe. Um, yeah,
Comment,
yeah.
like,
So like all of that stuff.
force your family to watch. Friends too.
share.
All of those things. Oh, quickly, our second newsletter came out this week. So if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. The link will be in the episode description wherever you're listening or watching this. We're going
Lots
to
of
try and do
content.
newsletter like every month. So please subscribe to that. This month's newsletter was about our favorite episode of last TV episode of last month that we watched. So it's a bit of fun there. So please check all of that out. Please subscribe. Send to your friends or whatever to subscribe as well. Okay,
Also
so
send to your enemies. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, you know, send to everybody, send to anyone, sending to
Your
your,
exes,
your
your
exes,
side
your sneaky
pieces,
links,
your
just
situationships,
anyone, just like yeah.
your
Um,
FWBs,
okay,
Your praying
so
your
I
partner.
roster,
want to just go through all the names, or are we going to talk about the boys?
your
Um,
besties.
Episode 6, titled "Dirty Business," which couldn't be a more apt title for this episode. Is written by Anselm Richardson and directed by Karen Gaviola. So there's quite a bit to go through in this episode. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to like I've tried to frame this discussion across like 5 or 6 scenes. So I'll give a recap of the episode and then we'll just use those particular scenes to kind of like discuss the characters and the stories and everything. Sound good?
Hmm.
Great.
Before I even start, I'd just like to shout out that the name of A Train, Sage, and Noah's film stroke TV show is Black at It. 10 out of the 10. No notes. Just
Excellent.
keep on doing what you're doing. Okay, episode recap. So, Frenchie is refusing visitation, and Firecracker is now the VNN news anchor. And while Cameron is on his quote unquote sabbatical, she needs to warn their listeners about the Jewish space lasers. A Train runs all the way to Toronto so he can talk to MM, and he informs them about the alt right Who's Who party that's happening at Tek Manor. In order for the team to sneak into the party, they pay a visit to Peter Parker, sorry, Web Weaver, um, at the Tech Manor, we find out that Tech Knight has slave money. Cough, cough, Bruce Wayne. Where did you get your money from? Uh, the Seven also has. The Seven has also come for this shindig because, as Homelander mentions, there's going to be a sidebar later with the Who's Who of the Who's Who. So again, I love that the Bruce Wayne dig really, really got at you. Um, in the tech cave, Ashley has finally found someone to match her freak. Um, like all the I, I was watching. I was like, remember? I think it was last week or 2 weeks ago. Bolu was like, "Ashley's too freaky for him," and I was like, "This is just a different level." The Deep and Noah, or rather, New Noah, have a conversation about real Noah's psyche because New Noah is just an actor. But also, did you know that he can fly? He can fly. He keeps telling everybody. Newman and Sage have a twisted heart to heart. Annie apologizes to Firecracker before stabbing her, so I'm not really sure how much weight the apology carried. During the Illuminati meeting, Sage's brain is MIA, so Homelander decides to lead the meeting. But he quickly realizes that these aren't the same people that support him because these guys are actually like they might be demagogues, but they actually need a plan and they need contingencies. So Newman steps up to save him, and then Tech's final words are about their plan to use his private prisons as internment camps. Hughie breaks down to Annie. is having panic attacks, and Butcher sees dead people. That's all that happened. Nothing else. Let's talk about the episode.
No,
There is nothing else that
wait.
happened in this episode.
No, you're not going to speed past minute 53. You're not going to do that.
Why do you know the
Wow.
timestamp? Why do you have the
Because I was
timestamp?
watching this episode at 6 a.m. yesterday. I had to check. I was 6 a.m. today. I had to check the timestamp to see
um,
what and why
he-
they decided to do that shit.
yeah, Homelander shows us that he's the real mother's milk, but we'll get to that. Trust me, we'll get to that. But let's just quickly start. I think the Deep and Noah. I really weirdly found that scene very interesting. The Deep talks
Bro.
about. Sorry.
No, I was just doing the whole bro thing.
Oh
Sorry.
yeah, yeah, but yeah, the Deep talks about how much Noah loved killing people, and then he explains like his own reasons for like why he hurts people, and then he basically underlines it with saying that violence is power. And there's a switch that like the Deep and Chase Crawford have in that scene where he goes from being this dumb guy to you're like, oh no, you're actually a psychopath as well. Like he's
Yeah,
like, when I push people's skulls, nose bones to back up their skull, like they're not laughing. I was
They're
like,
not laughing
oh
anymore.
yeah, you're not just like the clown. You are
you're
actually
a
like
very dangerous human being. Yeah, you
it's just because we've been seeing you in contrast with Homelander that we forgot that just on your own, you're actually
you're
like,
not a good
You a
personality.
yo,
piece of
yeah.
work.
I don't know. I'm interested to see what new Noah takes from that conversation because the look could either be, oh, fuck it, I don't want to be with these people, or also like, oh, okay, let me lean into the violence is power mantra.
I think
Um,
Noir is going to go to the circles, like he said, and get the fuck out because he's like, white people.
yeah, it's like, yeah, these guys will finally allow me to fly at the circus. Let me go there. But yeah, did you guys? What did you guys think of that scene? Has any thoughts? It's not really a thing that I think should take too much time, but I just wanted to see if you guys had any thoughts on that scene.
Is that the first time we saw his face? I think so, right?
I think
Yes.
so. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I had to like mentally recap because I hate to be that person, but like some people's faces were merging in my head.
So who do you think it was? Like,
Initially, I was like, but then like it cleared up in my head. Initially, you remember that guy that was helping the Deep because of like the conversation. I started remembering the guy from the second season that was trying to like help the Deep reform.
yeah, better person than I. I
Oh, you
could
can't
not.
remember.
If I saw, I know the
I
character, but if I
remember
saw
the
that guy
guy.
on the street, I would not be able to.
Yeah, that's
I
what I mean.
can't
Like
remember who he
the
looks
face
like.
was starting to like merge in my head a bit.
Mhm. Yeah, yeah. I think for me, apart from they've just seen the Deep's real own psychopathic tendencies, I was like, oh, okay, so this guy actually like his own powers are he can fly. Because I was intrigued, like, what are his powers? Obviously, we know this is a guy that's come from God use. Like, what are his powers as well? But yeah,
He seems really strong.
yeah. But I think, do you think he has more than like the base level of just they all have super strength?
No, he seemed he was those bullets he was taking. I think he's above average in toughness and strength.
Hmm,
Like he does seem like none of that matters, but he does seem much stronger than the average soup.
fair. Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean,
So
yeah, like
And the
his power
whole,
cannot
I
just be
feel
flight.
like, yeah, I feel like the flying thing is really important, right? Because, sorry to skip ahead, but
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember if you guys remember that conversation that Homelander had with
With
Tek Manor
Tech
when they
Knight,
got to the
yeah,
mansion. I told him he's fucking a tier below him that he can't even
not
fly.
even fly. Yeah,
So I'm like, wow, so are you telling me this nigga recruited the new Noah just because he can fly?
that's.
Like,
I mean, that's possible.
Bare minimum entry
That's very
requirements.
possible. Yeah.
yeah.
but like that,
Um.
that machine gun was not. It wasn't like basic bullets.
Wait, hold on, Bolu. I think you're talking about a different episode.
No, Noah. I thought he was flying.
Okay, so somebody has what the head.
Yo, this nigga washed the hair for real, for real.
Yo, what the
Ain't
head?
nobody flown yet.
Are
No,
you sure? I thought he was
Ain't no
flying.
machine gun shot.
hey
Damn.
I
man,
got caught.
damn,
Hey
damn,
man.
damn.
Oh
Thought this
man.
nigga
Nigga said he was on
red-handed.
YouTube and TikTok, and I did not
No,
believe
no, I
him.
was. No, I was. I was. It's when you sent me the new link that I tried to like get ahead this time. Like when I
Oh
gave the theory, I actually had to
man.
watch that ahead. That's why I asked. Like if I watched
mm,
ahead, I would have asked for the link.
This
well, listen, you
Mm-mm-mm.
really got all
No,
the.
you asked if I had watched ahead, but I gave the theory. I hadn't.
Okay. Yeah, no, that's fine. I believe you on that
Yeah,
part because you're right.
yeah,
I sent this new link this week, but still, at least for
yeah.
now, we know that you for this episode you watched ahead. So it's at Bolu underscore AOI.
Why are you
If you want to
snitching?
if you want to come for him. Okay, let's move on to Sage and Newman. So
Mm.
I've titled this on my notes. I could cure cancer, but what's the point?
Mhm.
Um There's a panel, I can't remember, it's from like an old Spider-Man comic where he's been going on Twitter for years, where like Spider-Man is talking to, I think it's scientist that's turned himself into
It's a
a
lizard.
dinosaur, a pterodactyl, and he's like, you could cure cancer with this technology. He's like, yeah, I could cure cancer, but I don't want to. I want to become a human dinosaur hybrid. And obviously that's for jokes, but in this scene, I think you kind of see Sage like, we have discussed like why is Sage doing this, right? Is it just a thought experiment? Is he just trying to see what are the actual practical implications of her ideas? But I think now we see that maybe she's like wanted to do this all along, but she just didn't have the apparatus to do it. Like she really fucking hates humans, and like she tells her story, her tragic story, and everything. And you're like, oh, okay, so she like believes what she's saying. She's not just like fronting for Homelander to see what happens. Like she genuinely believes all these things about humans being below them and everything.
Yeah, I was going to say that that was a pretty interesting reveal, and the fact that she actually cured her grandmother's cancer, and they just laughed at her and let her grandmother die in pain is actually nuts, but is very very on brand
Yeah, it
for
will radicalize
humanity.
me. It will
Yep.
radicalize me. Fair enough. Yeah, like I'll be like, yeah,
Yeah.
okay. I am now a supervillain. I do not care about
I mean, I get it, but like, she was how old? Like,
11.
I think doctors would think of her just trying to like save her grandma. Like, you don't expect an 11-year-old to be.
Yeah, I like again. It makes sense. That's what they would do in real life. It makes sense that they'll be like, no, that's like go play with your blocks. But at
Yeah,
the same time,
which
if
is
you
exactly.
know you have the cure
And the
and you're
intellects to
begging one
be
person to just look at, because I think if one person just looked at it, even if they're just humoring, like, oh, there might actually be something here, and they
Yep.
might have done it, but nobody wanted to listen. So she's like,
I
okay,
don't know,
now I'm a
man.
super
If
villain.
if you're the smartest person in the world, I think you'll have figured out a way. I'm just saying. That
to
was
like
all I
do
was
it
No,
yourself.
thinking.
actually, no, but you see, maybe it's the same thing now because it's the same thing as how she was at 11. She had the idea, but she didn't have the way to do it.
She didn't have
She's
the
11, like
means.
she can't create the medicine. She knows how to create it,
She
but she
knows
doesn't
how
have
to
the
do it,
thing.
but
Same thing now. She has this idea of toppling democracy, but she can't do it because she doesn't have the power of Homelander or the reach of Newman. But now that she has, she's like, okay, now it's the opposite of being 11. Now I actually have the way to do it. And I have what I can do to actually implement what's in my head, which is a bit scary. So it's like,
I feel
yeah.
like they gave her us a good out of why she wasn't doing shit for years. At least
Mhm.
that was me. I was like,
Yeah.
okay, at least they've explained why this super smart person really wasn't doing much. For if even though for me, I was like, okay, I buy it. That was just how I got across. Okay, I was like, okay, I buy it.
Yeah. And I
Bolu is a
think
real hater for real, bro. I respect it.
No, man. Look, one of the most challenging things people have in media, I always find it writing hardest, is the super genius. The super genius will always be one of the hardest things to write
mhm.
because you are limited by the IQ of the writers. No offense to the writers. Like, it's very hard to write someone that is significantly above, like, even Einstein or all these geniuses level in like
Yeah.
almost every specific field, when you're still limited to your own basic. And that's an insult to like the writers, but like it'll be hard to create that type of
Yeah, no,
genius.
no, no. It's also almost like the Green Lantern problem, right? His ring can create whatever he imagines, but only he cannot imagine what the writer imagines.
It bring good. That's
Like
what I
he
mean.
cannot go beyond just because like that is the limit. Like so, you're right. The smartest person in the world is only as smart as the smartest thing the writer can create or
That's
research. So
what I
like you
mean.
just have to do your research, right? But yeah, I mean, in this sense, I think it makes sense because again, the good things that they've grounded the plan, they've grounded the thing. It's something that like is like how would the smartest person topple democracy? It's not how would the smartest person end the world because that goes too far. It's just like there are only so many ways you can topple democracy. It's like how would the smartest person do it? I was like, okay, this is the route towards doing it. Which I guess actually, Richard, do you know anything about Sage? You want to say anything about Sage?
No.
That's fine. Why did you have to look around for Sage? No.
I don't know.
Um,
Shy.
I just realized that we're talking about Sage and we hadn't allowed the black woman talk, and I was like, you know what? I'm not trying to get cancelled
Okay.
this early.
I'm
So I said,
screaming.
let me
I
give you the
mean,
chat.
I have thoughts in general about some of the things that were said during, like, for example, Newman's conversation with that, whoever that old man was, when he was talking about,
Facts.
what did he say exactly? Hmm?
That the body would reject the abortion,
He said,
or rather, reject the rape. Yeah,
Yes.
we know if the rape is legitimate, the woman's body has a way to reject that pregnancy. It was such a wild, wild, crazy bar. And I feel like what's even crazier is like, I feel like people in this current country in which I currently reside, they genuinely believe that. Like,
yeah,
I think they really draw some of these bars from real life. And I feel like a lot of times TV can be like escapism.
yeah,
But much like The Handmaid's Tale, this is
Well,
very much rooted in real life, like people
yeah. It's like
saying and
what
thinking all
happens.
sorts of crazy
It's
stuff.
it's very unfortunate when like real world catches up to your TV show because like
Yeah.
if I wrote on a show 15 years ago that homosexuality caused thunderstorms or caused hurricanes, you're like, that's a bit outlandish. But then they came and said it in real life, and you're like, oh, what do I do now? Like where do I go from there? Like I can't come up with a line more outlandish than what you just said in real life. So I heard it's funny, but you're saying like somebody will probably say somebody probably thinks that a
Yeah.
senator brought snow
And
into Congress to show that global warming wasn't a thing. Like
yeah.
we've seen things like
And I
this
feel like even her reaction was so apt because
Mm.
he was, I
she
forgot what
blew
else
her
he said
own
after
head.
that, but she blew up her own head. And I feel like a lot of times when you're just talking to extremely non-intelligent people, that is the reaction. So she was so disgusted that instead of like her imagining blowing up his head,
Yeah,
she was like, actually, I
so funny
don't
actually.
even
Yeah.
wish to
I'm
exist in
I'm the
this
one
realm
that needs to
anymore.
go right now.
Yeah, that kind of thing. So I'm
So
just like,
funny. Um,
man, they know
yeah.
how to bond together as women of just, how ridiculous the world is that they
Yeah.
currently live in. So,
Um, but yeah, that leads us perfectly into the well, we're skipping ahead, like I said, but it's just a connected scene, which is when they go into the separate room and they have the Illuminati meeting, and Homelander tries to posture and say he's normal, trans, leftist, whatever, and then she's like, "Look, save that boogeyman shit for the idiots watching VNN." And this is the truth. Like this is
yeah.
actually the truth about how these guys think and feel. I'm sure
Yeah.
maybe 10% of them believe what they actually say. That's just to rile up their voters. And
Yeah,
Mm.
like they're
Yep.
still conservative. They're just not like batshit crazy. Like don't get me wrong, they still have like very strong leanings, but they're not like batshit insane. And
mhm.
the one thing they care about more than that is the money. Like
Money.
if
Paper
they can
baby.
like push like their leanings with maintaining their money, they will absolutely
Yeah,
100%.
yeah. It's like they don't actually think. Maybe most of them don't think that like there are caravans with smuggling illegal immigrants into the country, or that like most of them probably don't even care about bathroom issues. But like that's the way they rile up their voters, and like their voters get engaged, and their voters go and vote, and like you said, that keeps the money flowing. So she's like, okay,
Mm-hmm.
look, it's just us. Like stop all that
Mm-hmm.
trans.
Tonight.
Like I don't care. We know that's not. We don't care about that. What's the actual procedure? How do you do this? What's the
What's the
actual politics
plan?
exactly? How do you handle OPEC? How do you handle the military? Um, and Homelander, because he is really just a mascot, he falters. Like,
He was like, oh shit,
He was like,
I
yeah,
didn't prepare for this.
like,
they were like, I don't think you have the facilities for that big man.
and yeah, I mean, I'll just say quickly, anyone who is actually very interested in the politics of that scene, I would encourage you to go watch John Oliver's June 16th last week tonight episode, because they discuss about what a potential second Trump administration could do with Schedule F appointments. It's things that are way too smart for me to actually explain on this podcast. So I think go watch that episode, because it's kind of basically it's not the same thing as Article 25 of impeaching the president, but like it's kind of how does this cabal of people politically and legally basically infiltrate the government, and there are plans towards where you can do it. And his episode is very good. He talks about all of that. But yeah, Oseghale, I'll start with you. What are your thoughts on that scene, that entire scene from Homelander to Newman stepping up? I have thoughts on what Newman said, and I wrote it down. We'll talk about it in a second. But just general, what are your thoughts on that scene?
That scene was like it was a perfect like play on like the whole illusion of the boys universe, right? Like, and it's like the thing with Homelander is like not that he's stupid per se, but he's nowhere near as smart as he thinks he is. Just like Sage was telling him in the beginning, she's like,
Yeah.
"Yo, bro, like the main reason that like I never wanted to work with you in the first place is that like people cannot handle being with people that much smarter than them. It's like, and Homelander's ego is already more fragile than most. So even Newman stepping up to like take over because the whole shit
Oh,
was
you could see it on his
floundering,
face.
you could see it in his face. This nigga was angry. Like he was losing it. Like the only reason he didn't lose it completely is like, bro, that's the only way this plan can work. It's not even his
Hmm.
plan. It's Sage's plan. So it's not like he can even just be like, fuck it, like I'm taking over. He knows
Hmm.
that okay, at this point in time, this is too big for my boots. Like what am I going to tell these guys now? Cause bro, the truth of the matter is that like those politicians, they literally view him as what he is. They view him as a mascot for what? Because at the end of the day, like, yeah, physically, like none of them can touch him.
Hmm.
But like he said in the beginning, like in episode 2 when he went to message, he's like that, bro. Humans are so fragile; they are just his toys, but they control everything. It doesn't make any sense. So it's like that whole that whole scene literally just came to life in that conversation between him and the politicians,
Mm-hmm.
and Newman having to come and bail him out because again he's in too deep, like he's in over his head. He doesn't know what's going on, and it's so funny because I actually thought for a second that Newman was just going to let him implode. But it's like, I feel like after that conversation with Sage, right,
Mm.
about her own motivations, it kind of gas Newman up too. And she's like, yeah, you know what? Like, I remember that feeling of being powerless. Now I'm here. Now I have this opportunity. Even though I have to be in bed with this psychopath, I have to get this shit done.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and she has the same end goal. She does. Yeah. Chiagoziem, any thoughts on that scene?
Yeah, I just thought obviously really well acted, well written, etc. It was so funny to me when they like when he was fumbling, then he like looked to Sage. She was just stuffing her face. I just started laughing. That was just so funny. But yeah, I mean, Newman stepped up. She did what she had to do. Homelander. It was, I guess, it was also maybe a bit humbling for him as well because he was like, "Oh damn, I don't got this,"
Mm.
and this person had to actually save me. And it's like, wow, they weren't like buying into the story that I've been feeding millions of
Yeah.
my followers, whatever. And but yeah, no, it was a good scene.
Yeah, it's different between Homeland and Stan Edgar. I'm going to read what Newman says, and then Bolu, I'll come to you if you have any thoughts on the scene.
Yeah.
So Newman says to everybody, the truth is America is not a democracy. The word democracy makes people feel safe, but the founders never trusted the masses because the truth is that the masses are fucking stupid. Eh, She might be onto something. Anyone who has a live, laugh, love mug shouldn't have a say in how the country is run. People are a labor force that need a kind but firm hand. There are no nations. There is Apple, Exxon, and Berkshire Hathaway. I feel like somebody is missing from this list. Somebody that maybe creates the boys is missing from this list, but I won't say anything. Says corporations are the real superpowers. After all, you are billionaires. You're smart enough to know what's best, which is why billionaires think they can run for president. But whatever. Yeah. So that's kind of what she says in that meeting and kind of riles up the billionaires and they all give her their support. Bulu, thoughts on this scene?
It took me back to like House and Eggal, as they were dressing him down about his plan. You almost, well, I'll get to Newman, but like it always took me back to House and Edgar used to dress down Homelander. It's one of my favorite
Mm-hmm.
because Homelander is not dumb. He's actually cunning, but I'll say he's a bit above the average intellect. Like he's not a dumb person at all.
Yeah.
But the problem is he severely overestimates his intelligence and what he knows and the grasp of his abilities. So sometimes he gets thrown off the deep end because he has simplistic plans and he just expects humanity to react the way he expects.
Mm.
I don't think he understands it fundamentally as well as Edgar or the likes of Sage and a few others, or maybe even Butcher per se. So I always like when he gets put down a peg and he can't eye laser you to bend you to his will. Like that's when he starts feeling small and lost, and he starts seeing that small boy who's confused by the world. Like you start seeing like the cracks just appear. Like
But
the way he,
that's also when
I
he's
love how
scariest.
he gets scared. No, 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 no. That's when you're trying to. He gets a bit scary. Like if you're trying to. How do I put this? He might react, but I'm saying like he's not scary in that moment because he doesn't know
Yeah.
what to do. He generally does. He knows
Yeah.
that he
Yeah.
knows that punching it is not going to be the answer.
Mm-hmm.
So he
Mm-hmm.
gets very flustered.
But
So
I'm
it's one
afraid
of
of
those.
his reaction.
he-
That's what I'm afraid of, how he
I'm
Oh,
reacts.
potentially, but I don't think like they're. He's not going to just start attacking them. Like
Oh,
they're
no, no,
asking
no, no,
him.
no. Yeah, I agree with you. Yeah.
They're asking him valid questions. Like maybe the next person might feel his wrath.
That's what I
Unfortunately,
mean. That's what I
yes. Like
mean.
the
yeah.
next person or the unlucky. So Newman shot someone bill without her terrific speech. Like when Newman was doing what she did, I was like, oh yeah, this definitely Stan Edgar's protege slash
Mm.
daughter slash
Mm-hmm.
whatever she is. Like she's quite intelligent. Um, oh, Sage in that scene was hilarious. Like I, yeah, that was definitely the IQ thing is hilarious. I just hope like in like the next season or the like okay, the only one in the next season. They don't run it down as like just dumbing her down to like um bypass
Like
her, I guess.
to
Yeah,
work for plots. Yeah, I get what
yeah,
you mean.
yeah.
I get what
I
you
hope
mean. I
it
mean,
doesn't
for
come
now,
overused. Yeah.
yeah. I don't have any thoughts on this. I just think it's important that Ryan was there. I don't know why he was there. I think maybe we'll find out. But like they cut to him at some important point. So like obviously he's watching his dad flounder. So I
Mm.
guess we'll see how that plays up. Um, I think that's kind of it. We'll get to Homelander again towards the end. But I think that's kind of it in that scene. Unless anyone has anything they want to shout about Newman and Sage from the episode.
From the episode.
Yeah.
I think more widely. So when she actually got shot, I
Mm-hmm.
was like, oh, like, is she dead?
Mm-hmm.
But I also think is it would be interesting to find out, like, even though I guess the extent of what her brain damage will be, if it's like fixable, because like her brain grows or something. So
Yeah, I
is she
think
gonna
it gets back to normal. It's like it's
okay.
the same thing
Yeah,
as what the Deep did to her.
literally.
It's just a lobotomy. So I think she'll be back.
She'll be back
Uh
Yeah,
in a couple of hours because she even said it right that like when she does the lobotomies, it's just so she
yeah,
can lose that super smartness for a couple of hours. Like it doesn't
the
last long.
okay.
exactly. The only
Yeah, I
thing that
was
I went a bit galaxy brain, which I don't think they would do, was just like, oh, did the bullet leave her head? Like, is it still there? But
like still in.
they'll probably just skip that. I don't think that's the thing they will
Yeah,
focus on.
my thing was because like with the lobotomy, it's very precise, like where she does it. So because it's
Mhm.
in a different place, I'm like,
I think it was still
is
the
that gonna
brain. I think
change?
it was still it's just the brain.
No, no, but like the location of the brain. Like, did it hit
Does
the
it have to be a particular?
whatever?
I thought the eye was just the easiest way to get in.
The eye was
Okay.
the
Yeah,
easiest way to get
I
in.
think it
Yeah,
probably was the
Mm.
easiest way to get to her brain. To
Yeah,
be fair.
yeah.
Ah,
I think it's anywhere in the brain. That's fine.
okay.
yeah.
Anything else?
I think she even said, "He said you can shoot me in the head and I'm not gonna die."
Yeah, she
Yeah,
did. She did. Yeah.
Mm.
Um. Okay, so let's go to the tech cave. Matching my freak. Open question. Anything you want to say about this about Ashley's sex habits?
Let's just
Just
get this
anything.
over quickly.
yo, bro. Like
Bolu should
I,
not kill me.
You
I
said I want
knew,
to be here.
bro. I knew Ashley was freaky, but bro,
That was a lot.
New
That was,
heights.
there was a lot going
bro.
on.
I
It was
felt so
actually
bad
a
for
lot.
Hughie. I felt so bad
Like,
for Hughie.
Yeah.
like Hughie is strong, bro. I'll tell you that. Hughie is tough.
Who is I no from the previous seasons? Like if you go back to all the season one, Huey has an unnatural like for a regular person, he has an unnatural amount of like bravery and like fortitude.
The guy
Bro,
was
Yeah.
just
Like
mental
like
strength.
he's actually mentally very tough.
Hmm.
Hmm.
He's very like for a meant to be an everyman who gets thrown into something like forget now. Like there's enough times that a regular person would have tapped out and lost
yeah,
interest.
Yeah.
bro.
Yeah.
Like
Yep.
when against like insurmountable odds, they have all the money, they're strong, they have
Hmm.
everything going for them. Like people will have given up like running down that vendetta and like what Huey commits to.
Some of Jack Quaid's line readings in that scene were just so good. I should have written them down, but it was one when he says, somewhat somewhat dried calm. If you knock my boxes, they'll break or something
Yo,
like that.
brick, yeah, yo,
That nigga nasty.
And then,
That see
yo,
yes,
bro.
Boyd
Bolu.
makes everything nasty. Like this is one of the nastiest scenes in the boy, like off-putting. Like this is one of the
Yeah.
Bro,
most off, and
do
the
you
problem
know,
is that it dragged out. It really dragged out.
Yeah.
bro, do you know when I lost it? When Ashley finished
Oh,
and she rubbed her palm
do you
on
know?
Web Weaver's mask, I was like, yeah, you know what?
You know
These
what?
niggas are
Shout
dragging this,
out,
bro.
Shout out
I want
Kobe
to go home.
Minefe,
That was
who
literally me. I was like, I want to go home.
I hope that's how they
And
pronounce her
even
name.
though I was home, I was
I was
home
like,
in the house watching it. And I was like,
Yeah.
oh,
Uh,
Like even me, I was like, this is a lot.
yeah, I hope that's how I pronounce her name. But shout out to Kobe Minife because like her performance and like it's yeah, she did it as Ashley. She did a very good job. I was like, this is a lot, and yeah, um,
I was just
oh
watching. I was
god,
just like, bro, these are the people Kendrick was talking about, bro.
The
You're like, these are freaky ass niggas that
they were
need.
seeing inside
Ashley,
though. That's the
is
problem. They
They
were
are
seeing
actually seeing
inside.
inside. I
They were
mean,
actually
yeah.
doing their thing inside.
Ashley got a weird case. Why is she
Why
around?
is she
round.
around, bro?
Bro.
No.
Oh my god.
But like,
Okay.
even like that first scene where he told Huey to sit on the chocolate cake and
Mm-hmm.
then they
Yo,
gave him sandpaper to wipe after. I
bro,
was just like,
he said you should sit in the chocolate cake and fart.
and
This guy's
fart.
like, bro, I don't really feel like doing this right now.
yeah,
I was just thinking like
I
I
thought that's
don't
how they were
want
going
to
to
be
catch him.
here.
'Cause I thought the
same.
farting was
Because they
like
wouldn't
how
see like
he.
the weird,
Yeah, I
the
thought
web
that's how he got.
thing.
But it was like no, it was just farting for farting's sake, and I was like, oh fuck
But
you.
that's how.
So
But I
weird.
would say that's how you know Hugh is about it, bro. When Homelander told that other nigga to jack off, he flopped.
He froze
Bro,
up.
it's like,
This Huey is someone who's serious about his
he's
life. Like he
serious.
wants to live.
He's
Yeah,
serious about it. Okay,
Yeah.
so all of this it leads to the fact that we find out that Tech they're using Tech Knight's private prisons basically as internment camps. That's the plan, right? Anyone,
Hmm.
any dissident, anyone that opposes them, which is what we said yesterday. We said like he's creating his super soldier January 6th army, and if you against them, if you try to support the president, they put you in prison, and it's a bit yeah. I mean, I don't know.
Do
Does
you
anyone want
know?
to talk about internment camps?
Do you know what was crazy for me though?
Yeah.
It was them saying 100 million to Black Lives Matter that broke him. That's a sick,
yo,
sick man.
he
Do you know
started. He
I was
almost started
scared
crying.
though. I was scared because I don't know how to defend the show. Because he started talking and I was like, are they actually not going to send the 100 million to Black Lives Matter? I was like, how would I defend the show if they don't do that? So Kimiko was like, nah, 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 hashtag ally. I was like, how? I was like, if they don't send this 100 million to Black Lives Matter because he was
Everybody
talking,
else.
like how do I defend the show?
That'd be
Um,
crazy.
yeah. So okay, what else?
I
Huey.
mean,
Okay,
you
no,
can
go ahead.
also.
No, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say before we even got into the that internment camp bit,
Mm-hmm.
when he was about to like cut Huey up, and I don't even know like how he planned to drill the hole because Huey had a hole in the center and in the side.
Yeah,
But then his
multiple
bar,
holes.
he literally said everybody always has the same holes over and over again. It gets so fucking boring. Sometimes you've just got to make your own and then fuck
And
them.
then fuck them. Yeah,
I was like,
that's his whole thing, though.
Sounds like straight
You just
logic.
remember
Like,
Gen V. Just remember Gen V.
yeah, you know the show from
Bro.
Gen V.
He
That's
has
his
a
whole
sex
thing.
addiction.
That's his whole thing.
And then I
That's
love
literally
when he
his whole
goes to
thing.
Huey, he's like, no matter what happens, keep fighting. And I was like, oh, this guy is like, I
I
will
told you
need you alive.
when I said I didn't want to be here. Like I honestly like that entire
Guys,
like
I really
thing.
liked Tech Knight. I'm not gonna lie to you. From Gen V, I really like this character. This character is a bit insane.
A
No,
bit.
he's actually deranged.
He's
no.
deranged as his
It's
own
all
I
motherfucker.
love
crazy.
him so
Like I
much.
was
Oh
eating
my
dinner
god.
as I was watching like parts
What?
of this
Well, then
episode.
that's your fault.
Yeah, that's
That's
on
on
you.
you.
That's
That's
on
No,
on
no,
you.
you.
I've always been able to hold like my dinner
No,
watching the
I'm not
boys.
eating while watching The
Nah,
Boys since like
I've
that's
always
season
been able
two.
that's
to
a
hold it
rookie
like
mistake.
it doesn't. No, I'm telling you, like no, it does. I normally watch it like and it doesn't affect me. This is the first
That's
time
good on
watching
Really?
you. I
that it
can't.
really like go under my skin.
Two shows I can't watch while eating. Oh, I can't. Yeah, watch while eating. Gen V stroke, The Boys, and Game of Thrones.
I think I
It
could do
got to a
JV though. JV wasn't as close to this
bro.
nasty.
I was watching Gen V
Yeah, Gen V wasn't
pilots
this
while
nasty.
eating, and then this girl said her stomach was hurting. I was like, I know what these guys are gonna do. I'm gonna stop eating now. I was like, when she said my stomach is hurting me in the pilot, I was like, I know what this show is about to do, and I'm not gonna be eating while it happens. House of the Dragon, you just be watching next thing they're gutting a nigga, and I was like, I don't want to see his intestines. Like, I'm not trying to do, I'm not trying to see that. Okay, so Huey, quick tip for anyone who is listening. If anyone ever tells you that they are okay after a tragedy and that they quote unquote just need to focus on work or that work is the distraction they need, that person is not okay. Like let's just know this and know peace. Anyone that says they need work to distract themselves is definitely not okay. But yeah, Huey breaks down to an episode in a very touching scene.
Not to me.
Um,
You say not to you?
Not to me.
oh my
Wow.
god.
Bolu.
These guys, I say this is a real hater,
Okay,
bro.
He
He's
had to bring like
trying.
tell
If
us
I,
why that scene did
if
not
I never
work
the
see a
for
trend
you.
didn't
nigga like
resonate
this
with
again,
me. No, it was well written.
Mm-hmm.
It's just that what was happening was so off putting that like it couldn't bring the emotions from me. All I could remember was the disgust, not even
But that was
the pity.
but that was like 5 minutes before they were
I
doing
know
the
that's what
yo,
I
update. It was a
mean.
new day.
I was still
yo,
vomiting mentally.
sorry to take us back, but bro,
Yeah.
there's we missed one very key thing in
What
this
did we
episode,
miss?
bro.
What did we miss?
Tech Knight said that he's not the real freak. That Web Weaver is the real freak. So, like,
I skipped that. I skipped that. He was like, "This is all vanilla for Webweaver." I don't even like. I don't know why there's so many webs in Webweaver's house. Like, does he just shoot them is that like his comp? I do not know, and I do not want to find out. So I'm just
Mm.
I'm skipping everything Web River. I'm just leaving it like
I also want to say though, Zendaya being his safe
it's,
word, the writers of the show,
They are nuts, bro.
they're actually not
Dude,
okay.
someone has a thing for Zendaya in the
oh
writers'
wait,
room.
wait. Do you think that's a Tom Holland joke?
Him-
Oh,
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 probably.
oh shit.
It's a
yo,
Tom Holland joke.
Oh
It's a
shit!
Tom Holland joke. They
That
call it
just
Tom
came to
Holland
me.
joke.
Oh,
It's a
yo.
Tom
Yo
Holland
shit.
joke.
I didn't
Okay, it
even think
makes
of
sense
that first.
now.
It's
It
definitely a
makes
Tom Holland
sense
joke.
now.
It's
Wow.
definitely a Tom
Okay,
Holland
fair
joke.
enough then. Damn.
I love this show. I love this show so much. That's so stupid.
Yeah, no, they got it for they
These
got
guys,
it for free.
these guys have to. They have to hope that
I was
these
all
guys have
thinking
a
that if
sense
someone
of
in the cast
humor.
Of
had it
humor.
in there, that's actually way easier.
Oh
If
my
what?
god!
That's actually way simpler. Like that makes way more sense.
Imagine if you're the writer and you just stumble into Zendaya at the Golden Globes now. Just like, hi, how you doing? I can't believe. Oh, shit. Jesus Christ! Fair enough, man. This show. But yeah, Web Weaver clearly has to. I want to know, and we'll find out when the show comes out on Prime. I actually want to know. I'm sure. I feel like the person that's playing the guy in the game costume, it's probably like a joke or something. It's probably somebody that we
Yes,
know or
like who
something.
is it?
Yeah, I don't know. We'll find out. Maybe
We'll find
unless it's
out
just a
for sure.
random actor, which I don't think so. Okay. I see dead people.
You
Um,
should have done it properly. Like the psst,
no,
I see
no,
dead
because
people.
I refuse. I refuse for that line to now become like a Kendrick thing. Like, can we like Sixth Sense came out in 1999? Like that is where this reference is. Like, I don't. I refuse for it to now become Kendrick said I see dead people, and everybody's like, no, it's Haley Joel Osment. It's Sixth Sense. That's where that line is from. This is my agenda. This is where I'm fighting.
Bankole, you're no fun.
I I'm fighting for the culture. We're losing our culture. Everybody, all the Gen Zers now think that I see dead people is from Kendrick Lamar. No, it's from M. Night Shyamalan and Sixth Sense. Anyway, okay, you do it. Please do it for us. Hello, what waiting?
I've lost the vid.
I
Brother,
think
Oh, I
the
mean, okay, I'll
moment
try.
has
Okay,
passed.
okay, okay, okay. I mean, I did do it,
you
but
did do it. That's true.
yeah,
I'll just take it.
yeah,
I'll just take it
just
and put it back in the audio. It's like
sure, yeah.
audio magic. Anyways,
Mm.
Samir says that the only way to create a virus to kill Homelander is to create one that kills every soup, which Butcher starts battling with. And then I love the way they did it. I love the way they like have Jeffrey D. Morgan's character just like shout out, can't remember her name, but
Becca.
Butcher's ex.
His ex-wife, yeah.
Yeah.
Becca.
But yeah, that's the conclusion to Bolu's theory.
Hmm. But I
What
feel
did
like
you guys
even
think when you went that scene?
from the first scene, you know, like how the I think is this how the show opens, but the scientist guy
Mm-hmm.
is lying, whatever, and then someone taps him,
Mm-hmm.
and then it's the I'm so bad with names. I'm sorry, but like
Joe Kessler.
yeah, someone was talking, and then it looked like he tapped him, but then it was
Yeah.
Butcher that was right up to the person, and
Yeah.
he
He
was in the
says
back.
wake up motherfucker something and then someone
Yeah. So
taps him and then it's Butcher. Yeah.
when that happened, I was like, okay, yeah. So this is definitely like 100% a
Yeah,
figment
yeah.
of his
Bolu's theory was in my
imagination.
head, so I was like,
Yeah.
oh, I started
Same.
saying it across the episode. I said lots of the placements were like him behind Butcher, like
Yeah.
over his shoulder. I was like, oh yeah.
And then the
So
other guy wasn't reacting to stuff he was saying or like
yeah,
looking at him at all.
yeah.
So I was like,
And then
yeah.
like Butcher was doing manual work, like Butcher was pushing things, and I was like, no, Butcher is clearly dying. If anyone's gonna push things in, it should be Kessler. But
It's
yeah,
so
I
funny
know.
because I actually didn't even think about it at first until I saw this video on Screen Crush actually, and they
Mhm.
talked about it, and I'm like, you know what? This makes so much sense now.
I'm
Like,
actually very happy I did not see this theory online because it means that
Yeah,
I'm
same.
successfully curating my timeline. Because boy, the For You tab is the worst thing to come to Twitter, man. I am seeing so many takes that I hate so much. Especially now that all the shows are out, House of the Dragon, The Boys, The Bear. I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
I hate all of you. I hate all of you so much. So I'm really trying my best to curate my For You tab. But yeah, do we have any thoughts on this? Like we said, Bolu theorized last week. Apparently, it's a theory that's been going on for a couple of weeks. So do you have any thoughts on it?
another thing, like, so this is another theory that's been floating around, like, and it also kind of makes sense. Like, the the manifestation of Joe Kessler
Mm-hmm.
is a like also think so that is actually the manifestation of like the parasite that is now living inside Butcher,
Yeah.
and and people are also saying that like Butcher is kind of going to have DID like Moon Knight, right? So when he switches
Okay.
to the Joe Kessler personality is when his powers are going to come out.
Okay.
Right. So like remember like when that's
No, Kessler says it was like I killed
yeah,
Ezekiel for you. Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah. Because last week I remember last week I theorized whether it was the same thing as the thing that was inside the bunny that like jumps out at him,
Mm,
and
Mhm.
yeah.
yeah.
So I guess we'll probably know more about that in a couple of weeks. Bolu
So
probably already knows
my
about it,
so my question
right,
so now
Bolu?
my question about it is that like when is that parasite done with Butcher? Like you get like
Hmm.
how much longer is he going to live? Is he going to
I mean,
keep
we know he's not dying this season. That we always knew that from even before they announced next season was final. Like we know he's not dying this season. So it's like, what happens? Yeah,
yeah, fair
eventually,
enough
yeah,
though. But that means when he dies, it's going to be pretty spectacular.
yeah. It just much it just blows up from inside. Um, yeah, I think we know. Like so now it's like Butcher knows that he's clearly seeing people, and he has to make this decision whether he wants to go all the way and kill all the soups. We know he's not going to do it, obviously.
Are
Um,
you sure?
I mean,
Eh,
next season has to have soups in it, so like,
True,
Is he
true.
so we
going to
know he's not
be?
going to
Is he going to
push.
be Eren Yeager or is he going to be Mikasa?
I'm crying.
I would this is me walking on like I know that reference. Yes, Eren
Yeah.
Yeager. Yes, Attack on
Bankole.
Titan. Um, okay, so let's go to. It's so funny because
No.
from I think from episode one, I was like, Oseghale will come back at episode six. I hadn't even watched it. I didn't know anything. But I just like Oseghale will come back at episode six, and I'm so happy he was here to talk about this next scene. The 53-minute mark. And he said, if Bolo, if you the tech cave scene is worse, yes, but like the way you reacted to that scene, I want to know how this Homelander scene then. How did that make you feel? This Homelander and Sage, not Sage, sorry, and
Firecracker.
Firecracker.
Firecracker scene.
We've kind of been here before.
That's fair, but have we? So I should mention quickly
It
because I
was.
saw this.
I mean, can't you
Yeah,
remember like we've kind of known this thing with Madeline, and then him having a clone with his face and Madeline. Like we've known Homelander's breast kiss issues from time.
Yeah, bro. I mean, I can't lie. It was the way the scene was. I don't know
yes,
Yeah.
about you guys. I
Yeah.
It was so fucking funny
A
because
milk shot is crazy.
a milk shot is crazy as hell.
Crazy.
The way he reacted was so funny.
That
Like
was
I was watching this shit.
yeah.
I
bro,
was
his
watching this shit,
reaction.
and
I have to have in my notes. Anthony Starr's reaction to the God forgive me squirt is going to be like a meme because like
bro, it has to
it
be,
Yeah.
his face is almost like he has tasted manna from heaven. It's like, oh my god,
bro.
where has
Like
like all the other cow milk and everything that he's been
Even like
drinking
the
is like.
image after was. I think it was the image after that was just so.
So
I'm
that's what I'm
like,
trying to say.
what is this
you
show?
guys
So
don't
you
understand.
said
I
we've
was
been here
watching this.
before. That image, we've not seen that
We've
image
not seen
Yeah,
before.
that
I
before,
know,
bro.
The
but it
image is
was.
different.
That, like, bro, like I was watching this P at 6 something a.m. Bro, I start dying of laughter immediately that stuff happens because, like, at first when she starts stripping down, I'm like, bro, man, like, is she just gonna sexually assault this guy? I
Mm-hmm.
was told that it's
Mm-hmm.
not sexual. Then
She wouldn't
he's
dare.
then she squirts him with milk, and I'm just like, yo, what's going on? What's happening right now? Like, like the way he reacted is literally how I reacted. Then I started laughing. I laughed for like
Bro,
four minutes straight, bro.
but you're not pregnant. As
He
if
said,
it's
"But
like,
you're not pregnant."
oh my god,
Yeah,
what is
because
this miracle?
you know there's a point in time when she was in the bathroom and she was like not looking okay, and then
Yeah.
I was
So
like,
in episode 4, when Frenchie is searching her trailer before Ezekiel comes in and everything, there's a screenshot, not a screenshot, there's a cutaway to a drug that Frenchie brings her from her purse.
Mhm.
I saw this on Twitter back then, and it was like a screenshot of that scene, and then I think the drug is called metoclopramide, and apparently that's a drug that helps breast milk,
lactation.
yeah, production. In so, and I was like, I said on Twitter, I just scrolled away. I was like, whatever, just like random theories. But then as that scene starts happening, I'm like, huh, Twitter, like a broken clock right is right twice a day. So I was like, and then she squirts. I'm like, oh my god. And then okay, let's talk about that final shot. It's not the final shot in the scene, but that final shot of that scene, no, of the episode. And you have this man who is apparently the bastion of Americanness and patriotism and strength and everything. And he's being cradled by this woman while I have people in the house. I'm really trying not to
Well,
say
while
those
nuzzling
words.
nuzzling on her,
Yes,
nuzzling.
right in front of an American flag. I think it's an insane image just to have. And like, it's everything the show wants to say is in that one image. Like, these people that you think are strength and power are really just babies.
Yeah.
They're really just children. They are not people you should be looking up to. And
Just
like, she's
babies and
calling him, she's
freaky
saying,
ass
and
niggas.
oh gosh, like, I'm also intrigued to know what happens now that like Homelander has seen Sage's weakness, and at
Mm,
the same time, he now has more reason to be loyal and uplift Firecracker. What does that mean? Because again, he's probably going to side with the white woman over the black woman. Not to bring the
yeah.
race thing, but it is a race thing. Like
I think
it's like
uh,
he's Homelander. There's a like
I mean,
think about.
I don't think Homelander is
You don't think he's
Unison.
woke
racist?
or like anti-racist, but I feel he's so sociopathic that like his his need of the day transcends like um I think that like he's not non-racist, but
Hmm.
he's more driven by what he needs at the moment.
mm,
Yes, but I
And
also don't think
unfortunately, that
it's
milk shot was everything he needed in his life at that point. So
yes, but I don't think it's a coincidence from the show's perspective that Madeline, Stormfront, and Firecracker are all white.
yeah.
Yeah.
I
I
don't think
mean, do
that's
you
a
want all the villains
coincidence.
to be black women?
No, no. But I also don't think it's a fact that like it's a coincidence that like this one woman that he's going to go up against. That I mean, she says it doesn't see in episode 1 or 2. It's like, how are you going to like settle with, or how are you going to be okay with a black woman that is smarter than you?
Mm,
Like, I don't think he's like you. He's not guided by race. I'm not saying that because he's like you said, he's his reason is a lot more narcissistic than that. He's not like someone that's like, "You're black, I hate you." He just hates
Mm,
everybody already.
Yeah.
Like he hates the deep and A train equally. He doesn't care what their races are. But
bingo.
I do think sometimes race plays a part. Like
Fair,
he's
fair.
not a KKK card carrying member, but I think it's impossible for him to be him and race. Because again, I still think to him it's like what they call it.
Soups.
it's him at the
Oh,
top
him.
level, then
The
other soups,
the other
Soups. Yeah.
soups.
then white people, then
Yeah.
black people. And it's like white people and black
Mm,
people are like 0.5 apart.
Okay, fair. Okay, I can buy
It's
that.
not
Yeah.
that much, but there is if he was trying to save one, he would save white people. It's just like
mm,
come on.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. If, well, it wouldn't surprise me. Like I wouldn't rule that out for Homelander. It's just that I've
Mhm.
not really gotten like strong writing reasons to feel that way. That's just me personally, Sha.
That's interesting. I mean, maybe it's me just you come in with your own ideas into things. I have not seen any reason to suggest that he's not. But it's like I said, I don't think he's driven by race, but I think he plays a part. I think he has
For
to play a
sure. I
part
think it
in
definitely
some
plays a
way.
part. That's not even the funniest part. The funniest part of this whole thing is Sage actually spoke about that shit when she was telling Ashley to fuck off that she's taking her job. She was like, you can
Hmm.
make yourself useful and like start like producing milk like Marilyn or some shit.
So
mhm.
this leads to a funny thing that I think is very funny in the boys' universe. It means that everyone that needs to know knows about this milk thing.
Yeah.
like,
No,
like if
I mean that's Ashley though. Ashley would know everything.
that I say needs to know.
Mm,
So it's not a thing that is just between Homelander and Madeline. Like it's like
mm,
almost kind of like an open. Well, obviously nobody can say anything because it's Homelander. He will laser you. But like
Yeah.
it's
yeah.
funny to know that these guys like Firecracker knew enough to start like being on
Yeah.
meds to
Because
make herself useful.
during that scene, like she spoke for a very long period of time.
Hmm.
Like I was very aware of how long she was speaking. And I was like, wow, like she's still alive. I was very like I thought I knew something was going to happen because I was
Hmm.
like, first of all, Homelander is looking agitated. Secondly, she has been talking a lot, like for a long period of time, relative to like
And
how
she
long
interrupts
home
him.
yeah, that too. Relative to how long Homelander normally listens to people. And then she now starts stripping off. He now says, babe,
I'm not sexually
I'm not
attracted
about
to you.
that. Sorry.
Incredible way to phrase that sentence. No one else
So-
apart from Homelander will say it like that. Like
Yeah.
it's what you should say, but it's just no one else would say it like that.
yeah. And then when we now see the milk shot, I was like, it makes sense. Because it had to be something big and
Yeah.
something like
At the risk
monumental to
of
actually
at the
close
risk
off
of
that scene.
You know
at the
the
risk
funniest part
of
of that scene was Homelander me like, you did this for me?
at the risk of like ostracizing more viewers than we already have in the last 10 minutes. And maybe at the risk of Bolu quitting this
I
recording,
might not come back next week.
you guys keep saying milk shot. I need to know, is that a thing that you made up yourself, or is that a term that is a real term
Uh,
in the real world?
for me, I just
Yeah,
replaced
it's
its
both.
original form with milk.
Okay, I just wanted to. Okay, I
I
just
don't know
wanted
if
to
that's a
know. I just
thing.
wanted to know if that was a
I
thing
don't know
that
if
was.
I needed some new phrasing.
I
Who
mean,
knows?
I feel
But
like I might have heard milk shot before. I'm not
That-
100%
okay, okay,
sure.
that's
okay.
What
that's
what site
crazy,
are you
bro.
on, brother?
No, bro, it's not even about the size, brother. It's just,
Let me Google.
That's
English is
Should
an
I Google
interesting
this?
Google.
language.
Let me
What
Google
ads do
this.
you want
English
to
is an
see?
interesting
You want to
language.
Google it?
I just want to
Um.
know. I'm a curious
So just
girl.
to round off, Firecracker told Homelander in that long speech that Chiagoziem referenced, she said that her podcast had a couple of hundred followers, and now that she's supporting Homelander, she has 1 million followers. And you know what? I get it. Firecracker, I get it. I too might make that. I make that switch. I too might support Homelander for the extra million follow. Look, it's a dog eat dog world. The things are happening in this world. If supporting Homelander gets you 1 million followers on Spotify, then I get it, Firecracker. I get it. Um, Final thoughts before we round off. I think we've kind of covered everything.
Uh,
Mm.
Let me
I might
refer
need to
to.
speak to Eric Kirky and the writers team, but
I don't understand how people can be. Bolu, how can you be in season 4 of The Boys
Mhm.
and
I,
these things are
this
still
was
doing
a
you
they are
like
this
still
was
getting
like
this?
to
a
you, bro.
standout irritation. Like he really got my nerves with this one.
Like we've had this season alone, Bolu has been revolted by the. Just to remind him again,
Human caterpillar.
the octopus, this episode, Tech Knight's cave, and then the milk thing. It's the boys, man. Like what you expecting?
What
It's
you
like
expect,
you go to
bro?
House of
I
Dragon and you see
know.
dragons and you're angry. It's basically in the title at this point.
Yeah, this is the whole thing, bro. This is the whole
Um,
thing, bro.
but yeah, any final thoughts? Anything you want to
Yeah,
talk
for
about?
me. So
Yeah.
we know like Huey suffered in this episode with that
Mm-hmm.
whole like scene, but
Mm-hmm.
suffered too because at the
MM has
very
a.
start when he had to get Mr. Webweaver going.
Yo,
I
yo.
Baloo.
So just to be on Bolu's side, like on rewatch, I skipped that scene. I had to like +10 that scene. That was a lot for me. Do you know one thing I don't like? I'm not like Bolu that like it killed. I do not like. I was gonna say fleas, but that puts it like my worst thing on TV is when someone spits on somebody. I
That's your
hate
worst thing on TV.
genuinely. I hate it so much. I hate when a character spits on another character. It like my entire body just I get MM's hives when it so imagine the web weaver thing, which is like the grosser equivalent of that. So like it's yeah I yeah MM had a panic attack and he needs to rethink his life decisions. So that should be interesting.
Another
Um.
thing I noted
Uh-huh.
was so there's a point in time where Butcher like threw up into the sink.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what he threw up because it was quite chunky. So I don't know if that was blood, if that was no, but like, because my thing is like the boys, right? They're
Yeah.
very good with visual effects. So if
Uh-huh.
you're doing blood, it's gonna be a bit watery.
Uh-huh.
But this was proper like chunky and congealed. So I'm like, maybe it's the thing inside him like releasing substances or something, or if that's his blood that he's like shooting out,
Uh-huh.
and his blood is congealed, my
I love
boy
it. We're
is
gonna do this. We're
at
gonna
the
do
end
this
of the
next
line.
next 2 weeks. Chiagoziem's SFX corner. Just break down the special effects in the episode. We'll do next 2, just so we can make Bolu stress a little bit more.
I'm
Just
sorry, guys.
Yo.
My final point was about the book to enter into the cave. It
yeah.
was called 120 Days of Sodom. That
Mm-hmm.
was very
Yeah.
on point.
Yeah.
Actually, I had one final point since I'm just reeling them all off. So, when Kimiko, this is a heartwarming one. When
Mm-hmm.
Kimiko went to the prison and she wanted to see Frenchie,
Mm-hmm.
and then the babe was like, da 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 da. When
Yeah.
Kimiko like typed, "I have nowhere else to go," my eyes actually started watering
Oh.
because that's like I don't know, like for you to it's just such a like yeah. It was you can really feel like how much she feels for Frenchie and how
Oh.
much it's
I like that.
don't say, oh, I don't want to cry.
No,
So
oh, sorry. Well, unlike Bolu,
so
who
relax.
let out the loudest hisses you've ever heard in your life. Bolu
Yeah,
was like,
just like that. Oh my god. I was like, this is so like wow.
fair enough.
Yeah.
I mean, look, man, I love Kimiko and French. I think it's second and I said the last when he was here. Like, there's nothing they can do that will ever annoy me. So love
Exactly.
Kimiko and Frenchie.
I, I
Anyone
would
else?
say though, bro, A-Train, I can't like A-Train is going through a lot this season. They are really, really testing him, bro. They are
Bro.
testing him crazy. Because I remember when he was in mansion and Tek Nine was like that, bro, you would have my granddaddy that was a slave catcher, you would have given him a run for his money. I was like, bruh.
Then the other guys were like, this is a white Christian nation.
Even when he talked about how they now own like the most private prisons, and he looked dead at
He looked
Adrian.
at A-Train
It's like we capture them, we rehab them, we release them, and then we capture them
and then
again.
captured him again.
And then he has that hero moment where the kid smiles at him. Look,
Mm,
A-Train not dying will be the biggest plot twist ever of the season. Like they might be
yeah.
doing it in a way that like they make it so obvious that he's not gonna die then. So he's gonna die then he doesn't die. Because at this point, like the death markers are a lot.
Bro,
There
It's
are a
all the
lot.
too
redemptive
many dead
features.
flags, bro. Too many
Yeah.
dead
Way too
flags, bro.
many. Like even when that kid looked at him, he'll not feel that like, oh, I'm a hero, so maybe in the future he'll try and save somebody. No,
Mhm.
he's gonna die for sure.
A-Train.
Anything else? Okay, so we're good. Secondly, keep
Shout
your
out in there.
shout outs in there. That's gonna be the caption. Shout outs in there. Secondly, keep your next week free. We don't know. We might have you back. You're definitely going back for the finale though.
All right.
Everyone's good.
No,
I
yeah.
think
Bulu,
so.
what are you gonna do to fix the rest of
To
the
forget
evening?
this episode.
Go watch Abbott Elementary. Go watch Abbott
I
Elementary.
That's a
I
good
don't like
one.
Album Elementary that much. I know people are gonna say I don't like it that much.
Bro, so what
Wow.
do you
I
like,
think
my
I
bro?
The
think
way
it's
you are
okay.
Okay.
walking into
How
the
can I
hate
put
allegations.
Abo Elementary? I find Abo Elementary ha funny, but like I don't
Uh-huh.
belly laugh. I've never belly laughed like
There's some belly
you
laugh
know,
there.
but like
There's
I
some belly
really
laugh
like
there.
I like the characters. I find things funny. I'm like, oh, that was funny. Oh, that was funny. Okay, that's clever. That's funny.
What's her
You go
name?
like I don't go ha 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 like like to be fair, like I lean towards more of like things that made me used to like roll over laugh for like Archer earlier seasons, Fresh Prince,
Mm.
Arrested Development. That's kind of and maybe Veep, yeah. So like
Fresh Prince is an incredible sneak in there. Like it's a funny show, but it's not like any of the other shows you just mentioned.
it's my
It's a pure
favorite sitcom of
sitcom.
all time. Like
Fair.
Mm.
I mean Veep. Veep is Veep. Like, Veep is my probably my best comedy the last 20
Really?
years. Yeah,
Should I add it
I
to my
love Veep.
list?
I
I
love
might
Veep.
have to
so
watch
Veep
that.
is great.
Veep is
Yeah.
great.
Okay.
Veep is yeah. Veep is like
Yeah,
the
between
precursor
that
to
and the
Succession.
first three seasons of like Arrested Development. Oh my god, you if you like Succession, you definitely enjoy quite a bit of Veep.
Yeah, it's the same people. Jesse Armstrong wrote on Veep. Like it's the same
That
kind
makes
of
so much
British
sense. That makes so
British
much sense.
crew that
Like
do
some
that.
of the insults, the
The use of the F word.
frustration
It's
is
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. It's
Okay.
yeah.
Oh my god, I forgot. Oh, Jesus. It's Fresh Prince and Fleabag, yeah. It's very hard for me depending on my mood. I like my
Fair
favorite
enough.
comedies of all time.
Fleabag is excellent.
Fleabag is hilarious.
hmm And I was one of the
That's
first
an
people.
incredible
I
adjective to use
put
for
people onto
Fleabag, but
Fleabag. I watched Fleabag as it was
It's
airing.
funny.
it's very
Like
funny. But that's the first feeling that comes to my mind.
that's one of my
So what's the
greatest
first feeling?
achievements.
It's
Like I was putting
depressing.
people onto Fleabag.
Oh, I mean,
Or in season one, Bolu.
Hmm?
Oh, you're putting people in season
Yes,
one.
during season one, like as it was airing, I
Fair,
just saw it by chance.
fair enough. Okay, that was recommendations corner. We somehow stumbled into that. Yeah. Okay.
so many
So yeah,
corners.
we'll be back next week talking about the rest of the boys. A show that I'm still enjoying. Like I think we're all still enjoying it. Maybe just because we're talking about it. It's fun. Um,
Yeah.
I like the things they're trying to do.
Mm-hmm.
It's a fun show. Excited for the final few episodes for the final season. As always, please subscribe to the newsletter. If you're listening to this at this point, thank you. Check out House of the Dragon every Sunday. Literally, once the episode airs on HBO, our episodes are there every Sunday. The Bear, 2 episodes on the entire season. Um, okay, that's it. Oseghale, Bolu, Chiagoziem, thank you very much.
Thank you for having us.
And I feel like Oseghale is primed for something. You know what?
I feel
Okay.
like he's about to say something.
No, I
Daniel
was just,
Kaluuya.
I
Oseghale, up
was,
to you.
I was just going to say, don't worry. I'm always going to be ready for a good time and to talk about the boys, bro. That's what I was going to say.
Okay. Well, yeah. And on that note, shout out Zendaya. Bye, bye, guys.
Bye, hotties.
All right, guys.
Bye.